Welcome to Wednesday evening Sunset News. Now, in the program, we bring you the latest news, stories from the community, economic indicators, tomorrow's weather, and sports. I am Glenn Rashipura, and I'll be your host for tonight's broadcast. Now, first up in the news, the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture celebrated the annual commemoration of the Southern Africa Liberation Day. Now, the ministry also invited several school classes to the Independence Memorial Museum. Sidanio Ascota Ade, the Cuban ambassador to Namibia, also took part in the celebration. Now, although there has been a significant decline in the fertility rate in Namibia from 4.5 children per woman in 1996 to 3.3 in 2019, the teenage pregnancy rate remains high at 19%. Now, this means that 1 in 5 women aged 15 to 19 years has begun childbearing. This is according to an UNFAP report titled Synthesis Report Namibia, Investment Case Towards Ending Unmet Need for Family Planning. The report says that estimated number of teenage pregnancies doubled in 2020, which may have been a result of the COVID-19 lockdown. Now, in our next story, tourism should serve as economic catalyst in the Southern African Development Community, SADC. In November 2021, the Environment and Tourism Ministers of SADC advocated the rapid deployment of Boundless Southern Africa Feasibility Study Report and Roadmap. Now, as part of the initiative, the Ministerial SADC Committee, under leadership of the SADC Deputy Executive Secretary for Regional Integration, Dr. Tebinkosi Muhlongo, insisted on turning the trans-frontier conservation areas into a success. Now, easy access to the existing 8 TFCAs in the SADC region would be facilitated and promoted, including to the Casa Park that covers parts of Angola, Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Meanwhile, in Namibia, you find that apparently ruthless third parties are claiming parts of the Casa Park for themselves. Recon Africa, with its gas and oil exploration in the conservation areas of Kavango West, comes to mind, and so does the Mbukushu tribe of the Kavango East region, who seem to claim access for their cattle to the Mbambwata National Park, which in fact form part of the traditional grounds of the San people, if people were to enforce such a claim. Now, in our next story, this was established in a phase 3 of the Kudu Rabies project that started in 2020 and has recently been completed. Dr. Raina Hassler, a lecturer at the UNAM Veterinary School and also the project leader, shared the final results with the management of the Livestock Producers Organization this week and discussed the way forward. Now, the Kudu Rabies project started in 2016 after the LPO Congress gave instructions to find a solution to the ongoing Kudu Rabies pandemic, which is putting the Kudu population in Namibia at risk. Now, the aim of phase 3 of the study was to compare the different doses and methods of administration of an oral rabies vaccine to elicit a measurable immune response in kudus. Now, phase 3 also conducted a further investigation into the bait that had already been developed in the previous phase of the project. It was necessary to determine the extent to which kudus in natural felt conditions would eat the bait in order to ingest sufficient amounts of the oral vaccine to gain an effective immune response. Now, a man imprisoned for close to a year based on an amount of dagga 13 times higher than the 1.2 grams of dagga valued at 12 Namibian dollars he was actually caught with, had his sentence reduced to 2 months. Nashilongo Ishmael was arrested 4 years ago in September 2018. His trial at the Otapi Magistrate Court only started in January this year. While Ismail pled guilty, he always disputed the 15.4 grams of dagga he was first accused of having in his possession, admitting to being in possession of just over 1 gram, enough to roll 1 joint, according to online dispensaries. A state witness later confirmed the weight. Now, Rosa van Zyl and Hetty de Vet, both 79 from Ocho, have decided to clean up their birth town. Now, they hired 2 men and started to fix potholes in the street in front of the church. Now, for Van Zyl, collecting rubbish from her neighborhood during her morning walk is nothing new, and both feel that if everyone does something small in their respective towns to better the town, Namibia would be the cleanest and best kept country in the world. Now, that is an exciting initiative. Up next, in community news tonight, we're in Henties Bay, where the Lions V Club inaugurated the Miami O'Lean Dementia Centrum. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Sunset News. Now, in our community talk, the Lions Club of Henties Bay officially inaugurated its state-of-the-art House O'Lean Dementia Center, which will deliver specialized care to 12 dementia patients. Now, the center was named after Miami O'Lean, wife of the late Supreme Court Judge Brian O'Lean. Adam Hartman was there.
It's a big day for people living with dementia, as the Lions Club at Henties Bay will officially open its House O'Lean Dementia Center, which will be able to accommodate 12 people living with dementia. This project, they started construction about over a year ago. They tried to receive or collect funds in various ways. But thanks to some generous sponsors, recently the Lions Club has been able to finalize the whole process of establishing the center, and by May the first patients with dementia will be able to move in.
In the last few years, it's become evident that some local elderly residents have contracted one or other form of dementia which requires special care. The Henties Bay Lions, in cooperation with the Swakopmund Lions, agreed to build a facility which would specialize in the dementia center and memory care.
Die volgende mense het 'n groot bydrae gemaak om hierdie sentrum 'n werklikheid te maak. In die eerste plek kan ek nie. As dit nie vir jou was, ons vandag hier gestaan. This dementia center is the dream of the Henties Bay Club. It's been expanded to the Lions Clubs of Namibia. There's a severe need to care for people living with dementia, one or other form. We started building this center in December 2019. But our money dries up, and we build and get money and build and get money, and eventually Mrs. O'Lean, the wife of late Judge O'Lean in Namibia, donated $1.2 million, which put us in a position to finish the center. And we officially opened this center today. It's not finished yet. Small stuff still needs to be done before people can come in. But because we had our regional meeting, Lions meeting in Namibia, annual regional meeting here in Henties Bay, and because it was also the drawing of our raffle ticket project today, we decided to officially open the center while everybody is present. And that's what happened just now.
This is a state-of-the-art center, and it's one of very, very few in Namibia. What does this mean for people living with dementia?
Well, I think it means a lot to people living with dementia. It means a lot to the families of the people living with dementia. This is the state-of-the-art center, but it will mean nothing if we can't provide state-of-the-art care from now onwards. We've contracted with our Frail Care Association. They will manage the center, and I believe they will do a very, very good job in taking care and give the special care that dementia people living with dementia needs.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Out. Okay. Can we just have one big smile over here, please? Thank you very much.
Happy occasion, yeah, special one, special one.
Up next in economic news tonight, we look at the Agri-Advisory Division of the Agricultural Bank of Namibia. Do stay with us. Thank you for staying with Sunset News. Now we take a look at our economic news. Now in 2017, the Agricultural Bank of Namibia established the Agri-Advisory Service Division within the Marketing and Customer Strategy Department of the bank. Now the main objective is for the bank to provide services of continuously transferring knowledge and skills with everlasting enhancements to farm productivity of farmers countrywide. Now, to date, 12.8 million Namibian dollars investment was made for the operationalization of the AASD, benefiting 36,013 agri-entrepreneurs, of which 70% are small-scale farmers. Now, up next, let's have a look at our economic indicators. Now, the Namibian dollar strengthened against most major currencies except for the Chinese yuan. On the NSX, MTC is 0.10% down and Namibian Breweries is 0.01% down. SBN Holdings is down while Orex, Paratus and Trustco is up. The local as well as the overall index is also up. Most commodities are slightly stronger with Brent crude oil down a touch. After the break, it's time to look at tomorrow's weather. Do stay with us.
Have you received a loan from NASFAF? NASFAF loan is the same as any other loan. It must be paid and settled. NASFAF has a set of guidelines on how you can repay your loan and become debt-free. Therefore, it is important that you, a former beneficiary and a responsible Namibian, show your patriotism by helping pay back your loan and thus helping NASFAF become a revolving fund for the benefit of future potential students. By failing to pay back your NASFAF loan, you risk being blacklisted or having a court order against you. So arrange with the fund to pay back your loan today. For more information on how you can repay your loan, visit our website at www.nasfaf.na or visit our Facebook page or Twitter. Do the right thing and hashtag payback the money.
Thank you for staying with Sunset News. It's always a good idea to look at the weather forecast, and with that, here's your weather. The entire north and east will be cloudy, with Katima being the hottest at 31 degrees and Ashorongo the coolest at 15 degrees. Hobabes in the east will be 14 and 26 degrees. The coast is partly cloudy and varies between 17 and 22 degrees. Keetmansop in the south is the hottest at 32 degrees. Now, in the international news slot, we look at the CAR military leader, Maxime Mokom, who is accused of war crimes. More on this right after the break. Thank you for staying with Sunset News. Now let's take a look at our international news. Now, a former Central African Republic militia leader accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity appeared before the International Criminal Court for the first time on Tuesday. Now, Maxime Mokom, a one-time leader of an anti-Balak armed group, appeared on charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity allegedly committed in CAR in 2013 and 2014. Now, Seleka, a coalition of armed groups mainly composed of Muslims opposed to former President Francois Bozize. Mokom, who was handed over by Chad to the ICC in The Hague on Monday, confirmed in French his identity and said he had been informed of the crimes of which he is accused. He is suspected of, among other things, murder, extermination, deportation or forcible transfer of people, imprisonment, torture, persecution, cruel treatment, and mutilation. His lawyers said Mokom was mistreated during his transfer by the Chadian authorities, alleging he was fed only moldy bread and sardines, that he had no bed and practically a chamber pot to relieve himself. So before the ICC prosecutor, Mr. Khan applauds Chad with the vigor for its sufficient cooperation. Maybe he would like to satisfy himself next time that Article 59 of the Rome Statute has been respected, said lawyer Nicholas Kaufman, referring to the court founding text. Hearings at which the charges will be confirmed were set for 31 January 2023.
A former Central African Republic militia leader accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity appeared before the International Criminal Court for the first time Tuesday. Maxime Mokom led the anti-Balaka armed group, a vigilante outfit formed to confront the Seleka rebel coalition in 2013 and 2014.
It concerns the crimes against humanity of murder, deportation or forcible transfer of population, imprisonment, or other severe deprivation of physical liberty, other inhumane acts, and persecution.
Mokom was handed over by Chad to the ICC in The Hague on Monday. His lawyer said Mokom had been mistreated by the Chadian authorities.
The remainder of his money was used to buy his daily ration of food, mouldy bread and a tin of sardines. With a raffia mat on a stone floor for a bed and an empty tub of butter to relieve himself, Mr. Mokom was kept incommunicado for a week without anyone knowing where he was. So before Mr. Khan applauds Chad with vigour for its efficient cooperation, maybe he would like to satisfy himself next time that Article 59 of the Rome Statute has been respected.
Two former Central African warlords, Patrice Edouard Ngaisona and Alfred Yekatom, who led anti-Balaka militias, are currently on trial at the ICC for war crimes and crimes against humanity.
Now, up next, we'll be taking a look at our sports news. In the sports news, we'll look at the soccer, horse racing, and the desert festival. To stay with us. Thank you for staying with Sunset News. Now let's take a look at your sports. Now, Namibia Football Association Secretary General Franco Cosmos is adamant that hosting the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations will benefit the association in many ways. Now, the country and Botswana have expressed their desire to bid for the 2027 African Football Showpiece. Cosmos feels that this will bring about sponsorship and job creation, as the association will be required to hire more people. Now, the NFASG added that hosting the tournament would mean that there will have to be active leagues, and this will therefore have to be done before the tournament kicks off. Now, in our next story, the rivalry between Namibia's top horses will be ignited after confirmation that Visigoth, Burundi, and Starlight are all expected to race at the Okahanja/Epukiro horse racing competition slated for the Garden Town on Saturday. Now, organizer Irishiwa Murangi has confirmed that over 60 horses have booked a place for the horse racing event slated for Okahanja on Saturday. As some of Namibia's top horses resume their challenge for bragging rights, the Okahanja Horse Racing, in collaboration with Epukiro Horse Racing, are hosting the event in order to provide a platform for horse owners and jockeys to get an education in social security. Now, the much anticipated Desert Festival began today at the Walvis Bay Private High School as future world stars are testing each other's metals till Saturday. Now, the stage has been set and all athletes have their eyes set on the prize as 15 schools compete in the annual Desert Festival at Walvis Bay. Now, the schools will be challenging each other in different sports codes such as hockey, netball, and rugby. Now, do stay with us. After the break, we bring you the highlights.
For ultra-fast fiber with the convenience of mobile LTE. That's two products in one bundle. It's new, it's one bill, and you can stay connected in more than one location.
For more information, visit paratus.africa/NA.
Always prepared, Paratus.
Welcome back to Sunset News. Now, if you're just joining us, here are the highlights. The Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture celebrated the annual commemoration of the Southern Africa Liberation Day. Now, the ministry also invited several school classes to the Independence Memorial Museum. Sidanio Ascota Ade, the Cuban ambassador to Namibia, also took part in the celebration. Now, although there has been a significant decline in the fertility rate in Namibia from 4.5 children per woman in 1996 to 3.3 in 2019, the teenage pregnancy rate remains high at 19%. This means that 1 in 5 women aged 15 to 19 years has begun childbearing. Now, the report says that the estimated number of teenage pregnancies doubled in 2020, which may have been a result of the COVID-19 lockdown. Now, the tourism should serve as economic catalyst in the Southern Africa Development Community, SADC. In November 2021, the Environment and Tourism Ministries of SADC advocated the rapid deployment of the Boundless Southern Africa Feasibility Study Roadmap and Report. Easy access to the existing 8 TFCAs in the SADC region would be facilitated and promoted, including the Casa Park that covers part of Angola, Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Now, with that, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Wednesday evening. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneup2.com. Now, Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and on GoTV channel 94 every weekday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. I am Glenn Rashipura, and this is Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.